Welcome to GPPAC Perspectives, a series of short conversations with members of the Global Partnership for the Prevention of Armed Conflict, sharing their perspectives on peace and security issues from around the world. Today, we turn to the Pacific. I am joined by Sharon Baghwan Rolls, co-founder of the Pacific Women Mediators Network and a GPPAC member based in Fiji. Sharon, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Sharon, could you briefly describe the recent developments and their significance for the Pacific region?
A few weeks ago, just as we were out in meeting partners in relation to how we organize for our contribution in the Ocean of Peace Declaration, we suddenly had on July 6th an ICBM test by China within our region. And that really has become a very stark reminder of one, intensifying geopolitical competition which our region is experiencing, but also it brought to mind the fact that we're still healing from the nuclear test legacy. And these kinds of reminders, these kind of militarized reminders are very traumatic for many communities. Currently, there's also a lot of bilateral agreements taking place and between Australia and a number of Pacific Island countries, including my own Fiji, which is shifting the conversation from dialogue and care from creation to more about deterrence and defense. So as we talk about the ocean of peace and peace building in the Pacific way, we're feeling that all of a sudden it's becoming more state-centric rather than human-centered or human security-centered.
And with this in mind, Sharon, what is at stake if the ocean of peace is understood primarily through a hard security lens?
Well, one, it's really about reaction rather than prevention, which is at the heart of what we do as GPPAC members. We really believe that peace building isn't state exclusive. It really is about deeper work around democracy, justice, and ecological balance. And if we only focus on hard security, we're really abandoning the people-centered approach. This is hard when you're living on the front line of the climate crisis, when you have such high levels of gender-based violence. And as I said, the nuclear legacy. So we're really wanting to make sure that as much as the investment has been in developing national security mechanisms in the region, we must now be amplifying our call and strengthening our call for peace-building architecture as well.
And looking ahead, what needs to happen in the coming period, and you started reflecting about this, for the ocean of peace to remain rooted in Pacific priorities, centered on people, communities, and also locally led peace building?
We just had another Pacifica Peace Talanoa dialogue this week, so I come fresh with many ideas from the GPPAC Pacific and Pacific Women Mediators Network. And one of it is urgent course correction. We're asking through the Pacific Islands Forum and the member states that they come back to not just talking about peace, but actually strengthening peace-building priorities in the regional plan on peace and security. We want a comprehensive peace-building strategy across all the pillars of the forum's regional peace and security plan. We also want a dedicated inclusion strategy that is gender inclusive, that is youth inclusive, that builds on the work of faith and traditional leaders, that it's also disability and SOGIESC inclusive as well. The third investment must also build on the peace-building practice that has happened for decades. So for us, we will continue to advocate that the ocean of peace is about addressing the root causes of violence, looking at the intersectionality of climate change, looking at transnational issues, and that as civil society peace builders, we must be at the table in a more proactive way as well.
Sharon, thank you very much for your analysis. This has been GPPAC Perspectives. Thank you for watching.